Welcome back to Insight. I'm here with Dr. Sequila Liebetrau from the Bowen Center. Let's talk about anxiety and stress management. We all feel it. I feel like the world we live in, it's just stressful. So what can we do? First of all, why? Why do we all feel so stressed out all the time?
Oh my goodness. Well, so there's various different triggers for different people when it comes to stress. I think statistics say roughly 40% of American folks say their jobs stress them out. I'm sure you can probably relate to that.
No, my job is not stressful at all. No.
So then there are other external stressors, life stressors in general. So it can be something like you're dealing with a chronic illness, or you're caring for a loved one with a chronic illness, divorce, financial stressors, so various different external stressors. Then we can also have internal triggers for stress. Feeling a sense of fear or a lack of control. You know, the media is available to us now 24/7. So if you have access to media or social media, you're constantly hearing bad news. That can be a very big trigger, especially if you feel a sense of there's no control. Right. It's just happening to you. The other piece to it too is if you set really high standards for yourself, and so you're almost setting yourself up for failure, that can cause a lot of stress. And I think finally with that, also a sense where you maybe have a negative perception of the world or a negative attitude versus more a positive attitude that can also tend to cause stress and anxiety.
Sure, that makes sense. So how does that chronic worry and stress, how does that affect us? Does it have a physical effect on us?
Absolutely. So it can interrupt your sleep patterns, your appetite. It can disrupt your relationships. It can disrupt your functioning at work or school. And ultimately, I think something that's really negative that can happen is when we turn to coping skills that may not be so good for us. So eating junk food or just
donuts
bad
for
foods.
Lunch? I've never done
that. Bad foods, smoking, drinking, drugs. These are all negative coping skills that can obviously, take you down a very negative path.
Absolutely. So what are some tips for relieving that anxiety and stress?
There's a ton of things. Some of them might seem almost too straightforward, but they're very helpful. So one thing is making sure that you eat healthy food, and especially taking things out of your diet that can cause stress, specifically alcohol and caffeine. These days, coffee, very popular, energy drinks, very popular, and those can cause really high anxiety. People have different thresholds for how much caffeine they can ingest, and so we definitely have to either reduce that in our systems or completely remove it from our systems. Another thing is exercise. Exercise is really good for increasing serotonin levels to make us feel really good, and it also decreases cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Another thing is making sure that you get enough sleep.
Yes.
Our society does not seem to really value sleep very much, but of course, if you don't get enough sleep, you feel cranky and your mood is really bad. So you have to make sure that you get those things. Then there are some additional measures you can take, working with a therapist on things like mindfulness practices, healthy coping skills, challenging negative thinking patterns that can attribute to additional distress and anxiety. And of course, we want to make sure that you have enough social support, so increasing that in your life.
Well, if you need some help discovering some of these coping skills, or you'd like to work with a therapist, they can help you at Bowen Center. All you have to do is give them a call or check out their website, bowencenter.org. We'll be right back.